Welcome to the real estate talk show with David Wally. I'm your real estate consultant and wealth advisor. And here with me, I have a professional real estate consultant as well. So he's here to talk about all the things we need to know concerning real estate. So your land title document, everything. It's going to cover everything. So I have here with me Realtor Isaac.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, it's so good to have you here.
Yeah, same here. Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
so this is the first time you're coming on board. So I want you to share with us, share with my audience, a lot of people want to go into real estate investing in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, people from abroad. So they're just really concerned about the problem facing Nigeria real estate. So I want you to break it down for us. Like, why is land ownership usually complicated? All these land grabbers issues in Nigeria. So why is it complicated?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. To start with, I think why it usually seems a lot complicated is because of lack of information.
Okay.
A lot of people who get lands or who invest in real estate are not properly informed. A lot of them do think they are informed, but in the real sense, they are not really informed. You understand?
Okay.
And there's something known as the Land Use Act of 1978.
Yes.
The Land Use Act states that all lands belong to the state government.
Okay.
All lands have been vested in the authority of the state government, except in cases where the federal government, has interest in such a land. But if there's no case as such, all lands have been vested in the state, in the power of the state government, and so therefore the governor has full power over every land in the state. So now, when you want to get a land, there are certain things you need to know. It's like you're going through two processes. Some people just think, when they get land from the owners, they are free. They don't even put the government in consideration, and that causes problem.
Yeah.
The same happens otherwise when you get land from the government and you don't even put the initial landowners in consideration.
Exactly.
Yes, so the two parties have to be put in consideration when you are getting landed properties.
Okay.
So
I think you break that down well, and it's really a lot of people get into this thing without full consideration of which property they are going into.
Okay, so let me explain better. There's something called acquisition when you're getting land.
Yeah.
Acquisition can be broken down in two. We have the committed acquisition and we have the general or global acquisition.
Yeah.
So when you hear of a committed acquisition, those are lands that are under specific purpose. They have been set aside by the government for a specific purpose.
Okay.
They could be in urban areas, and the government has already decided, this particular land is committed already because we want to use it for certain facilities, certain infrastructures. It could be hospitals, it could be schools, it could be roads, you understand?
Yes.
Any form of infrastructure or social amenity. So any committed land, you understand, by the government, if you buy such a land, you have just wasted your money. So you don't go near committed lands at all.
Yes.
Now there's another one called the global or general acquisition. So this one, the government is still like an open land. You understand? The government have not deemed it either free or committed. You understand? So when the government now deems it free, you can now decide, now the government has said this land is free. You can now decide to proceed with such a land, you understand, after which you can decide to get the necessary documents in purchasing such a land. So lands that are under general or global acquisition, you can still go for them, but you need to get the necessary documentation. Now, in the case where a land is under general global acquisition. Then there's something called excision.
Okay, so I want you to talk about the various type of documents we have and what do they entail.
Okay.
You know, like what's the power? Which one is the most good document? Because a lot of people have the issue, like they hear this kind of different type of document we have, but they don't know which one is valid enough.
Okay.
So I want you to break it down for them.
All right. I think that's a very good one because a lot of people get confused when it comes to land documents.
Okay.
Now, when we're talking of land titles, let me start with land titles. We have different titles, and a lot of people mix these titles up. You know, they don't really understand the difference between these titles, and they get confused. So, like I was saying, in a case where the government now decides, okay, this land, we release it, is a free land. We are not using it for any particular infrastructure or purpose. So such a land is now deemed free. Then, if you want to get such a land, you need to undergo a process called excision.
Okay.
So, when the government, excision, simply put in layman's term, is the government releases certain portion of the land.
Yes.
You understand?
Excised.
Yeah, it is excised. So that particular portion of the land that is excised, you can now show your interest. You can indicate your interest in such a land. You understand? And when the government says this land has been excised with the government, you understand? So you can now show your interest. Now the government goes further to do something. They release it in an official
Gazette.
They release it in an official publication. Publication is the right word. You understand?
Yeah.
So they release it in an official publication that is known as Gazette.
Yeah.
So that inside in that publication, it is clearly spelled, it is clearly detailed that this land now has been, excised. And we, the government, we have released the publication officially. Are you getting it now?
Yeah, I get it.
Officially, with our full consent that anyone can now come, you understand, for this land because it has been released.
Yeah.
So if you get such a land that is a gazetted land, you are completely safe because the government has released that land. You understand? So there is another title called the C of O.
Okay.
The C of O, put in simple terms, is Certificate of Occupancy.
So a lot of people believe that C of O. Like
now
they hold that title.
Now,
so I want you to tell us, like, is this a good title and is it worth getting? So talk to us about that.
Yeah, okay. So C of O has a lot of advantages. That's Certificate of Occupancy, it has a lot of advantages. But it is usually mistaken as the ultimate document. A lot of people believe when they get a land that is titled C of O, they've gotten all the necessary documents they need to have, and they don't put the other necessary documentation, they don't put it in consideration any longer. Once they have the C of O, they believe, yes, they have full power over the land, which is not so. So C of O in layman's term is called the Certificate of Occupancy, and it's a certificate that shows that you are the occupant of this land for a period of 99 years. Because all land belongs to the government. You're getting it?
Yeah.
All land belongs to the government, and the government is leasing this land to you for just a period of 99 years.
Yes.
After which, in Nigeria, we don't know what next. You understand?
Yeah.
But it's a period of 99 years that the government releases this land to you. Now there is another one called the governor's consent. Is another title that people don't really understand. Now, the governor's consent is a title that shows that the governor has consented, you understand, to the transfer of ownership of a certain piece of land, you understand, to you as the new owner. Now, where this comes into play is if you get a land that has a previous title C of O, Now you cannot, you as the new owner, if I transfer a land to you with the title C of O, you as the new owner, you cannot have that same title C of O again, because C of O is only given once. Are you getting it?
Okay.
C of O is only given once. So you as the new owner, you now need to get a document, a title, a new title called the governor's consent. Now, that governor's consent is the one that shows that the governor consents to the new ownership.
Okay.
You understand? The governor consents the transfer of the land from me to you.
So are you saying that okay, for instance, I buy a property, I bought a property for whatever price, and I now decide to sell it to somebody else.
Yes.
My property has C of O.
Yes.
And I decide to sell it to someone else.
Yes.
That means the person is not going to get the C of O.
Now, that person, you understand, the person is going to get the C of O, but it doesn't end there. The person still has to go get the consent of the governor to the transfer of ownership of the land from you to him or her. You understand?
Okay.
So if the consent of the governor is not yet signed, are you with me?
Yeah.
It's not yet signed, then the transaction is not complete, and anything can come up later on. You understand? But once the governor consents, once it carries that title, governor's consent, that means the governor fully knows, the governor is fully aware that there is a transfer of ownership of the land from party A to party B.
So what I'm getting is like, is government consent still more valid than C of O?
In fact, if I will tell you the candid truth, a lot of people think the C of O is the ultimate, but governor's consent is even much more powerful than the C of O.
Okay.
Because if you have a C of O or you have a Gazette and you don't have the governor's consent, as a new owner of the land, your documentation is not complete, and anything can still happen in the nearest future.
Okay.
Once you have the consent of the governor, you are free from any form of land grabbers, unnecessary intruding into your land, or all these money issues. Once they see the governor's consent, they take their hands off.
So what about properties with land, like village excision? Those kind of properties, can someone still buy them? And why is it village? Why is it called village excision?
Now the reason why it's called village excision is because when the government excises that portion of land, you understand? That means the government releases that portion of land back to the community or back to the village.
Okay.
Initially, before the Land Use Act of 1978 came into play, the way our four great grandfathers, the way they did it was they just sell their lands, they transfer the name, they transfer. But when this Land Use Act of 1978 came into play, you understand? So what happened is now that the government has to release, if you as a community, you have 100,000 acres.
Yeah.
Now the government can come, okay, this land, we release 30,000 acres back to you.
Yeah.
You understand? Out of 100,000 acres, we release 30,000 acres back to you. Now that 30,000, you as the community or the village, you can do anything you like with it. Now that land, that 30,000 acres has been excised, has been released back to the village or to the community. So that now carries the title village excision. You understand? Because it now carries the name of the village in which the land has been excised to.
Okay. So that means even village excision is still powerful.
It's very, very powerful.
Okay. So I mean, what I'm getting from the feedback I'm getting from this is that you can get even the deed of assignment. Have you mentioned that?
No. Now
okay, you can get C of O.
Yes.
You can get Gazette.
Yes.
Like Gazette, is this still okay to get?
Yeah, Gazette is okay because it shows. No, sorry. Now, when you get an excision, the excision just shows that the land has been released back to you. A certain portion has been released back to you out of the whole portion. You understand? It's like cutting orange and giving a certain portion of the orange, maybe a quarter,
yes, to
someone. That means that portion, you own it.
Yes.
So that's what happens in excision. So when you now get excision, when you're approved excision from the government, it's called approved excision. When you get the approved excision, you can now get the Gazette. Is the Gazette that shows. You understand? Once it's approved, then that means that land has been gazetted by the government. The government just goes ahead to publicate it, and put it in official documentation that this land has been.
Yeah, so Gazette is like an official publication.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't get it confusing. Gazette is an official publication.
Yes.
So village excision, when the land has been excised.
Yes.
So it's going to be published in
the Gazette.
Government official Gazette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
now, there's also something known as the deed of assignment.
Okay. So
a lot of people, when they get a land, and this way people make a lot of mistakes, especially people in diaspora. I've seen a lot of them who have complained that at one time or the other they lost their lands, they lost their properties. It's because of this thing I'm about to talk about. It's called the deed of assignment. Now, this deed of assignment, when you get a land or a property, your documents are not complete if you don't have this deed of assignment.
Yeah.
Because it is the deed of assignment that transfers the ownership of the land to you. If I am selling a land to you with the title C of O, it carries the title C of O. It's a big title. Everybody wants the title to have a land with title C of O. But if you don't get the deed of assignment that transfers the land from me to you, the transaction is not complete.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
You can come in the future, 5 years after, and say you didn't. I can come like 5 years after and say I didn't sell any piece of land to you because there is no proof that the land was transferred. So that's why the deed of assignment is very, very important.
So if, like for instance, an estate at all this real estate company, like what we do at G-Test, when we sell, for instance, they are selling an estate that with the document C of O, and we are selling to our client, and they want to buy a portion of our estate. So that means is the C of O transferred to them as they buy the document, buy a property.
Now, the document carries the title C of O. But in addition to the C of O, they will be getting a document called the deed of assignment. So that deed of assignment shows that the company is aware, the company signs to it, you understand, that this land, out of maybe if it's 30 acres, out of 30 acres, we are transferring 2 plots to you. Now, that 2 plots carries your name. It carries your name as the owner.
So that means, the question I was asking is, do I get C of O myself? Like, am I entitled to the C of O? Right?
The land already has the C of O. So the land you will be getting
C of O
as the title C of O.
So someone doesn't have to go to.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to get another C of O.
Okay.
You understand? But you need to get the deed of assignment.
Yeah. So I think I've clarified that you need to get a deed of assignment.
Yes.
With your C of O.
Yes.
So now, C of O is not the main.
Exactly.
The only thing you need to get. You need to get other things.
Exactly. So in a case where you get the land from maybe an estate of something. Now, the C of O, if it carries the name C of O, you can now decide, okay, since it carries the name C of O, I want to have a governor's consent, you understand, to make the governor fully aware that this land now belongs to me. So the deed of assignment is usually authenticated with a governor's consent.
Okay.
You can decide to take your deed of assignment, to the land registry or
Okay.
to the governor's office, you understand, and go get your governor's consent.
Okay. Wow. So you are gaining a lot of value. I need you to comment below. Comment below that you are gaining a lot of value. So Isaac is really dropping a lot of wisdom here. So I think he has clarified a lot of things here. He clarified the CFO, village excision, Gazette, and we've clarified the governor's concept. So I want you to tell us about, or is there other documents or types?
Okay. There's one that is also very important. It doesn't end there. When you get the deed of assignment, there is something also called the survey plan.
Okay.
The survey plan, in fact, without a deed of assignment and survey plan, your transaction is not complete.
Okay.
If you like, have Gazette, have governor's consent, have a C of O. You understand? The full transfer of ownership is not complete without the survey plan, because it's on the survey plan that you can see the map location of the land. You can see the boundary of the land that has been assigned to you, that has been sold to you.
Yes.
Now, the survey plan carries certain things that you must take note of. You understand? The survey plan carries the name of the owner of the land, which is being sold to you. The survey plan carries the address of the land. The survey plan carries the size of the land that is being sold to you. The survey plan carries the beacon numbers. You understand? The survey plan also carries the name of the surveyor that charted the site, that location for you, and the date when it was charted.
Yeah.
You can see how important the survey plan is.
It's really important.
It is a very, very important document. Now, when you have the survey plan, you can now take the survey plan to the Surveyor General's office. You get a surveyor, a good surveyor to do that for you. He takes it to the Surveyor General's office. He goes to chart the plan for you. It goes to check it out for you. This land, does it fall within a land that is under government acquisition, or it has been excised?
Yeah.
So the surveyor will be able to know if it's a risky land or is a good investment for you. You understand?
Yeah.
So when it goes to chat at the Surveyor General's office, then it gets the feedback that this land is either under government acquisition, and it tells you don't go near this land. In the nearest future, anything can happen.
Yeah.
The government can come and say, we want to construct road, we want to build hospitals, we want to set up schools. You understand? So, or it comes to tell you this land is completely free from any form of government acquisition. So you can go ahead and proceed with such a land. So to just summarize what I said, there are certain documents, as a summary, there are certain documents that you need to have that assure you that your ownership of the land, your ownership of the land is assured. You understand?
Yeah.
So the survey plan is very important.
Okay.
The deed of assignment is very important. You understand? At the initial stage, when you buy the land, they will give you a receipt. Well, it's like you go to a store, you go get an electronic device.
Yes.
If you don't have the receipt, the first thing
you should
is the
collect
receipt.
the receipt when you buy. Any company you buy from,
they will give you a receipt. So
Yeah.
the first thing you get is a receipt. The second thing you get, they give you a contract of sale. You understand? That contract of sale shows that, okay, there's a contract between so-so person and so-so person. You understand?
Yes.
You get the contract of sale, you get the deed of assignment,
Yes.
you get the survey plan, you get even the building plan if it's for houses.
Yeah.
You get the building plan as well, and any other document that the land can come with. It could be the governor's consent, any other title or any other document necessary that the land can come with. But these ones I mentioned are the vital documents.
Oh, so good. If you are getting a lot of value, I want you to comment below. Comment below, because this man right here has given us a lot of wisdom, and just appreciate this knowledge is sharing with you. So if you are new investor and you're looking to buy some lands, I think this has covered a lot. So I want you to talk about how investors, how people from diaspora can avoid the scam issue in Nigeria. How to not get scammed while doing real estate investment in Nigeria.
Now, it's very simple. The more knowledge you have, the more you can notice red flags.
Yeah.
You understand? And in cases where you are not even as knowledgeable enough as you should be, and you want to invest in landed properties, get a trained, a seasoned consultant, a seasoned real estate consultant that can put you through.
Yeah.
In fact, lawyers are very important, but if you will be engaging the service of a lawyer, ensure that is a lawyer that him or herself, is vast in properties. Don't go get a side road lawyer. Don't go get a begging lawyer, because they can trick you. I've seen cases where people in diaspora complain that this land, the lawyer, I engaged the service of a lawyer when getting it, and the lawyer said I should go ahead, that everything is is safe, everything is fine, and come 3 years down the line, I'm having issues on this land. And there's, after the litigation and everything in court and everything, they still get to lose the land, and they engage the services of a lawyer initially. I'm not saying that engaging services of a lawyer is bad or it's not good. What I'm trying to say in essence is, if you are engaging the services of a lawyer, ensure is a lawyer that himself or herself, has properties.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? He should be someone who is vast in real estate himself or herself. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you have the service of such a lawyer, you are safe.
Yes.
So if you can get one, get the service of a seasoned real estate consultant.
Consultant as well.
A real estate consultant will easily smell the red flags, can tell you invest in these properties, don't invest in these properties, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and one thing that you're already doing is you're already investing in knowledge, and I think knowledge is very, very important, like you said. So without knowing some things, you just fall victim into all these acts, and that's why you also need to get a good real estate consultant that can guide you step by step. And one thing I also advise, because a lot of my clients, some of them they always share with me that I don't know, I will just just buy from a company instead of just buying from my family member, or buying from, because they faced a lot of these issues.
In fact,
and this is something that occurs most times.
As a matter of,
try to buy from family member or someone,
as a matter
and they just
of
fall
fact,
your hand.
I do tell people, when you want to buy lands, you want to buy properties, it's usually much more safe when you buy from companies. You understand?
Exactly.
Companies that are ready to put their face out there, not companies that are just by the corner. You understand, or are barely developed one estate. Companies.
So you need to see their track record.
Exactly. You can trace their track record. You can trace the properties they have developed, what they have delivered. You can trace their managing directors. You understand? You can trace the source of the company. You can trace their location. So in such a case, even if anything happens later on, you are safe. Even if they can't return your money, they could even give you land equivalent of whatever property you have with them. Are you with me? So it's always good when you invest more with companies than investing with individuals, because with individuals you can get land sellers or moneyless that can sell a land for up to 10 people. There are a lot of cases out there where people lose hard-earned money. It's not easy to gather money, and when you put together your hard-earned money and you just go give it to someone who all he knows how to do is to sell a land to 5 people, 10 people, it is really painful.
Painful, honestly. So to avoid this, your adage, you need to seek the advice, the counsel of a good real estate consultant, and we are here to help you. I'm here to help you, to hold you by the hand and help you find a good deal, a good property to invest in. With all this you've shared, you are ready to jump at it because you know you're a good consultant, someone that can help them. So I want you to share with us which kind of properties we can invest in. How can they start this investment journey in Nigeria?
Okay, that's a very good question. It's simple, but what I do advise investors is when you want to invest in real estate, always take note of strategic times and seasons. You understand? For instance, presently at GTEX Homes, that is a real estate investment company, with branches in UK, in Dubai, in Nigeria, and even in the US. We are currently running a promo that cuts across different locations in Nigeria. So when you invest in properties at pre-launch prices, pre-launch prices mean you get these properties, when they are about to be launched. That's in preparation for launching. The lands have not been fully launched, but when you are getting them at this time, you can even get up to 50% discount on such lands. A land that normally when it's launched will be going for 100 million, or a property that when it's launched will be going for 100 million, you can get it for as low as 50 million. A land that will be going for 5 million, you can get it for as low as 2.5 million when you are getting at the pre-launch. So it's always good because smart investors don't just make money when they are selling, they make money when they are buying.
Exactly.
So you can even start making money from day one when you invest in properties, if you know the right things to do. So one of the right things you can always do is to invest in properties at the pre-launch time. You understand? So at this pre-launch time, when you get them, once they are launched, your investment goes to as much as 100% return on investment. Like we have some lands now that are presently on pre-launch. We have one in Ibadan. White House Moniya is at Moniya in Ibadan, close to the railway station there, directly on the express road. Very nice.
So how much is that going for?
That's going presently for just 2 million naira.
Wow.
At the pre-launch price. Once it is officially launched, in less than a week from now, it will be officially launched, and once it's officially launched, it will be going to 5 million naira. So smart investors, what they do at this time is they make use of this opportunity. Once they pay now, once they invest into this land now, come the launch day, they already have a return on their investment, more than 100%.
So I'm sure a lot of people want to key into this right now. So how can they reach out to you?
So it's very simple. For those who want to be a part of this, who want to take advantage of this opportunity, just reach out to me on my WhatsApp line, +234 8135 915169. But please take notes. Don't call me.
He's a very busy person, so just message on WhatsApp.
Because I can be very, very busy. But drop a message for me on WhatsApp. Let me know you are interested in investing in real estate, and we take it up from there.
So how many hours is the promo currently running for?
Now the promo presently is going to be ending in anything less than 3 days.
3 days, that's 72 hours.
Yeah, about 72 hours from now.
So you have to quickly take advantage of this if you want to get good return fast. So thank you so much, Creator Isaac. So amazing. Like a lot of things you've shared with us today, and we are ready to kickstart and jump right into this real estate journey. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.